I don't think I've ever been more excited to share my transfers with you. Hello and welcome to part 17 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we've got transfers, we've got the Champions League draw, and we have a game in Serie A away against Verona. But we've got to get into these transfers first. I'm just trying to see that. I mean, there are spoilers on the screen for those of you who looked quickly, but who cares? We're getting straight into it now. We have spent serious money. In fact, here you go, a taste of things to come. The future transfers, we've got one arranged. We couldn't bring him in this summer because we'd already signed 2 non-EU players from outside of Italy. But it is arranged that on the 1st of July next year, so next summer, for £31.5 million, some lad called Gabriel Barbosa is arriving. I don't know if you've heard of him. He'll be 21 then. He's already played twice, scored twice for Brazil. He's been at Spurs for the last couple of years. I mean, he's not pulling up any trees, but he's a Brazilian wonder kid. You've perhaps heard of him. He comes next summer, and the really exciting thing is we don't actually need him this year because of the other business that we've done. So where's our transfer history? That's what we're looking at. Look, I mean, we've spent £149 million this summer, and we've sold £16 million of a player. Okay, I admit it, I've done a lot of the buying them on the never, lots of paying over 48 months with a small deposit just to try and get players in. Now we're trying to fast track this process, but look, we've got all this money in the bank. Our projection still incredibly positive. I reckon we're safe to have just one summer where we blow a whole load of cash on the whole buy now pay later dealy, especially when you bring in the calibre of players that we brought in. So there's only 5 players. This isn't a usual Kev spray a load of money around at a load of people. These are 5 players, all of which improve our first team. This isn't just squad players, this isn't just players for the future. These are 5 improvements to our starting 11 week in, week out. Let's start with number 1, Ioze Perez. I don't know how you say his name. Bearing in mind, this lad's been on Match of the Day and stuff. I should probably be able to say his name. I can't. 24-year-old Spanish international, 1 goal in 3 appearances, 3.5 star current and potential ability. I mean, he's a good finisher. He can play up front or anywhere across the attacking midfield area. He scored quite a few goals for Newcastle in the Championship in the first season. Got a goal every other game for Paris Saint-Germain last year, and he arrives for £25 million. He's apparently as good as Carlos Bacca. Bacca has stayed. The only bid we got was about £15 million, so we'll keep him for another year. He can disappear next summer when Barbosa arrives. But yeah, he's going to be starting either alongside Bacca or Niang, I guess, will be there as well. Everton will be another year further into being a Brazilian wonder kid. So he is signing number 1. We have a £25 million of a striker from Paris Saint-Germain. We then signed Richard Lee Bazoa from Ajax. You may remember him from my non-league to legend save where I signed him for Ipswich when he was about 35. He was pretty good then. We've got him age 20. He's a natural, playing defensive midfield, centre-back or central midfield. Another proper wonder kid. 3.5 star current ability, 5 star potential ability. He's probably going to play as our holding midfield player. But he could just as easily end up being in the main part of the midfield or offering cover at centre-back. He made his debut for us in the first game of the season, which we've already played, getting an assist and a rating of 8.2 from defensive midfield. So, yeah, he's a good one. Talking of good ones, we have Danny Cevallos, 21-year-old Spanish player, 3 star current ability, 5 star potential ability. Look at these stats, they're just ridiculous. Can play central midfield or again anywhere behind the front line. So although we're probably going to play the diamond most of the time, a lot of these new players, Ioze and Cevallos, can both play out wide as well if need be, as well as Niang being able to do that. Bonaventura can do that. So we've got the flexibility to still use the different systems that we used last year. This lad is better than any attacking midfielder that we've currently got at the club, but he's also pretty useful in central midfield as well. He's been at Real Betis, where he's been playing regularly in La Liga for the last couple of seasons, and he'll just slot straight in to be our attacking midfield player. I know what you're thinking. We have signed a goalkeeper. If we're going to go and win Serie A, and if we're going to win the Champions League, we can't be messing around with potential. Donnarumma will get good. We know Donnarumma will get good. The point is, he's not good enough yet. So we've signed a goalkeeper who is Timo Horn, 24-year-old German. Current ability 3.5 star, potential to get to 4-star ability. But crucially, look out, he's a full star better than Donnarumma right now. Forget potential. We might not be in this save long enough for potential. FM17 comes out in 6 weeks? We don't. Donnarumma's not going to turn 28 in 6 weeks, is he? So he'll just have to go about his business and try and win his place back. But Horn is going to be our starting goalkeeper and comes in for just shy of £20 million. And then the last one, this is the one that we may have overspent slightly, but I was having fun. We've brought in Kurt Zouma from Chelsea for £58 million. 22-year-old French international. You'll be familiar with him from the Premier League. Can play centre-back, right-back, holding midfield player. He's just going to come in and be our first-choice centre-back. He's got a knock at the moment. He's got a back strain, so he hasn't yet made his debut for us. But he's as good as Romagnoli, which is pretty blooming good. And we've still got Big Gomez and Little Gomez. The Gomez brothers knocking around as backups at centre-back. Bazoa can go back there as well. We have proper Champions League quality, first choice and reserve in all positions now. And yeah, that's Zouma, who's been playing regularly for Chelsea in the Premier League for the last 2 years. Our squad is looking awesome. I should probably show you who left. Just a load of people that you would expect to leave, but we'll quickly show you. We won't dwell too much on it. So we got rid of Mitrovic at a profit. He was awful last game of the season. Kuchka. People have told me how to say it. I can't remember. He's gone to Avellino. Zapatar's gone to Burnley. Montalivo's gone to Avellino as well. Lapadula's gone to Pescara. Some guy called Rodrigo Eli, who was here apparently. We got £1 million for him. Don't know how. And lots of people have left on loan. So to quickly look at our squad depth now, and it's a beautiful thing. So look, goalkeepers. Look at all those goalkeepers. Right backs. I mean, Makey's not even the best right back at the club. Ignazio Abati, only third choice right back. De Chilio, first choice in both positions. Lazar, perfectly good backup at left back. And we all know how good Romagnoli is at left back. We saw it on the last day of last season. Centre backs, I mean, look at that for strength in depth. Little Gomez doesn't appear anywhere on this defensive stuff. He's a full England international now and was part of a clean sheet against Barcelona last year, and he's not even the top 3 in any of our defensive positions. That's how good we are and how strong we are at the back now. Defensive midfield, we've got Camacho, we've got Bazoa, we've got Mehmet Topal still knocking around. We don't really care about wide players, but we've got people who can play there if need be. Honda, Bonaventura, Suso, Nyang, Everton can all play out wide. We're probably not going to use it, but central midfield, we've got Mauri, Camacho, Bazoa. There's more as well knocking around. Attacking midfield, Bonaventura, Cevallos, Honda, and then up front, Bacca, Iozi, Luis Adriano, Nyang again, Everton again. Oh, I'm so excited. You can probably tell that I'm a bit excited about this squad. We went out there first day of the season and beat Sampdoria 2-0, and we absolutely dominated the game. We started with the Gomez brothers at the back, De Chilio and Lazar as our fullbacks, Bazoa anchoring the midfield, and we just looked good. We played really well, and it was exciting stuff. So, Champions League draw is coming up now, so let's get straight into that and see who we've got, and then we might actually play a game at some point. So, Champions League draw. We are, I guess we're a second seed, are we, this season? Or are we still a poxy third seed? Oh, are you serious? We're still a third seed. Right, let's get the first seeds out of the way then. So, get all them drawn out to begin with. I don't understand how. I mean, I do. People have explained how it works. How Spartak Moscow are a top seed and we're not because they won the Russian league. But it still seems silly to me. So, second seed's coming out now. So we avoid Leverkusen this year because they're in a group with Juventus. None of these groups are looking particularly attractive at the moment. Oh goodness me, there's some good teams in the Champions League this year. Right, initial instinct is we want Group G with Arsenal and Basel in at the moment. Everything else looks pretty tough. So we're not going to be in that group because Juve are there. This one looks like Manchester City and Dortmund. Okay, Monaco, I feel sorry for you. Paris Saint-Germain and Valencia is one of the more manageable groups, I think. But Fiorentina, the swines who we forced into the Champions League, they've got that one. Benfica and Atletico, again, probably more manageable. But Benfica, we saw how good they were last year. Olympiacos get that one. Spartak Moscow, Real Madrid. I think we could be the second best team in that group. I'm not going to get the opportunity to, though. Bayern Munich and Man United. We do not want this group. Man United knocked us out last year, and they're only the second seed in the group. Oh, it's going to be this group, isn't it? Whew. Right, here we go. Group G. This is the one that we want. Arsenal, Basel. Yes, we got the group that we wanted. Although Arsenal have won the Premier League 2 years in a row, I think. So, it's not that... We shouldn't be that excited. Let's see who else we've got then. So it's going to be either CSKA Moscow or Sparta Prague. Moscow it is. And I think we are perfectly... I think we could win that group. Certainly we should be expecting to go through with Arsenal, whatever combination the two of us end up being. Whew, that's probably the longest intro to an episode I've ever done, but we've got our Champions League group sorted now. Now we get to go and play Verona in Serie A. I will be back with that in just a moment. Right, so our team for the Verona game. And, it just excites me now, looking at how good this squad... We'll get thumped today because I've been so positive about everything. But, to me, it looks like a good side. Let me know in the comments what you think of the summer signings. So, in goal we have Timo Horn. A back four of Lazar, Romagnoli, Kurt Zouma making his debut, and Makey at right back. Camacho sits in front of the back four with Mauri and Bazoa in midfield, with Bonaventura in behind Niang and Ayozi. I need to learn to say his name properly. Up front, and then look at the quality of our bench. We've got the Gomez brothers, Luis Adriano, Cevallos, Bertolacci, Everton, Abati. That's just a top quality bench. Apart from him, I don't know who he is, but the other 11 players on the bench are all good enough to come into the side if needed. Donnarumma's on the bench, for goodness sake. We've left him out because he's not good enough to get in the team anymore. Are we good enough to break down the Italian back seven, though, that we're coming up against today? That's the important thing. Right, I thought Makey was going to get straight in there and whip one of his wonder crosses. It looks like he's hitting that cross over and over again. Someone needs to get on the end of that. It's going nowhere near the goal either. That's a weird cross that we just see him again and again and again. Another highlight would be nice here because that's making my eyes twitch a little bit. Don't know about you lot. If you're prone to adverse reactions to that kind of thing, you might look away. I'll let you know when it's safe to look again. Really, 20 minutes in, we should have had another highlight. We've had the kickoff highlight that's still glitching out all over the place. We've done nothing else yet. Here we go. Right, Lazar to Niang. Out to Makey. Makey's got a yellow card now. We didn't see what he did. Lazar is in, though. Can he whip a crossover? He does. He finds Ayozi, who forces a save out of their keeper. And at least we've not got the glitchiness now. And that went down as a clear-cut chance. So Ayozi needs to get a little bit better with his finishing. Back is injured at the moment. That's why he's not in the side. I haven't decided who he's going to come in and replace when he's fit again. He's going to be back in a couple of weeks. So these two are both really playing for a starting spot alongside him, because we'll assume that Bakker comes back in, because towards the end of last season he was back to his normal self. We've taken any captaincy responsibility off of him now. Camacho has been given the captaincy and Makey is vice captain now, so Bakker doesn't need to be bogged down by any of that nonsense anymore. Right, we should be doing better than 0-0 against this team at half time. I got so excited before it all started, and that was a really poor first half. We're better than that, I hope. I guess all the new guys are going to take a little bit of time to bed in. We have brought in 5 new first team players. It's a lot to bring in one go, and I think 4 of the 5 are on the pitch now, so yeah, it takes time. But that's that Rodrigo Eli bloke who we didn't even know we had. He's started for this lot, and I didn't even know we had him for 2 years. Ayozi's in again, misses Bazoa, out to Lazar. What can he do? Whips it into Ayozi, and he gets another chance and does tuck this one away. It's his second goal of the season. He scored in the last game against Sampdoria as well. So at the moment, he's winning the competition to be back as strike partner when he's fit again. There you go. Bazoa just tucks it out wide to Lazar. Lazar whips it in, and there's Ayozi. Oh, it's a nice little finish, actually, to beat their keeper. We're finally 1-0 up, but we took our sweet time about it. Another goal would be very nice around about now, because, this defence have never played together before. We don't actually know how good Timo Horn is in goal, so it would be quite nice to just have a couple of goals cushion and not get any nasty surprises. Right, Makey to Romagnoli. What a weird free kick that was. Our right back playing a sort of short free kick down the wing to our centre back, who then whips the cross in for Aozi to score. I mean, that's just weird. No one's going to be expecting that ball to go to Romagnoli there. I don't even know why he was there, but it's fooled everyone, including me. Aozi's got his second of the game, third of the season. He's already decided he's proving that he's worth the 20-odd million pound that we spent on him. We're 2-0 up, and I'm a little more comfortable now. Let's have a look what we've got on the bench. We know we've got loads of good stuff on the bench. So, I mean, anyone who's not playing well, we can just whip him off. Right, Nyang, you're done. Luis Adriano is on. Unbelievable that he's still at the club. Bonaventura, you can come off. Cevallos, you can come on. There you go. Easy. Oh, it's nice having options on the bench. Hopefully we can keep these players fit and the new signings end up being as good as I hope they're going to be. We'll see. Some of these I've signed more on reputation than anything else. I wouldn't like to comment on which ones they are. You can probably figure it out for yourself. I mean, they've all been properly scouted. They all came through my scout reports, and it's just I then recognise the names from hearing about them on other channels, on podcasts, that kind of thing. But yeah, I've overpaid for some of them compared to what I would have done just based purely on the scout reports. So let's hope I don't live to regret that, or else I'm blaming you lot for making me do it. Assuming we hold on to this, we are joint top of the league with all the usual suspects. They're all up there again. Right, Bertolacci wins a free kick, and they just had a player sent off. That all seemed a little bit over the top. It seemed like a fairly innocuous challenge from what you can tell from two circles from a helicopter view, but you know, it didn't look that bad. Are we going to grab a third just before it all ends? I don't think we are. There's probably no time. And Luis Adriano, that was awful. Okay, we did go for a corner, I think, but it was still awful. There you go. We have won 2-0. It's the second time this season we won 2-0. It's all nice and straightforward so far. That's how we want to keep it. I think we're probably going to be back for the Arsenal game. I usually like to leave a little bit more of a gap between episodes, but we all want to see the Arsenal game, don't we? In fact, it might even be worth doing Lazio and Arsenal the next two games, just because Lazio is maybe a little more interesting than Udinese, although Udinese almost got in the Champions League last year. I'll probably figure it out for myself. I can have this conversation with myself when you lot aren't listening. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.